Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So ever since the UK Supreme Court ruling, various sporting bodies have begun to ban male athletes from competing in female categories. We had pool, football, the FA banned male athletes, and now darts is following suit. The World Darts Federation is based in the UK, so as you can imagine, these sporting bodies don't want to get sued. They don't want women seeking legal action, seeking compensation for everything they've lost over the years because they were forced to compete against male athletes. Women have fought for their own division in darts for a very long time. Women have fought for their own competitions, their own championships, their own accolades, separate from men. So when you allow men to enter into the women's category simply based on identity, it's no longer a women's category, and it sets women's darts back. And this is something that was brought to the attention of the World Darts Federation and other sporting bodies within that umbrella. And they doubled down. We had women refusing to compete. We had women threatened with disciplinary action for refusing to compete. This is how much this federation doubled down on forcing women to compete against men. One woman who was threatened with disciplinary action was Detta Hedman. A couple of years ago, she released this statement explaining why she doesn't want to compete against a man, as she put it. She said she fought to get better recognition for women's darts back in the 1980s. She said she packed up in 1997 as she felt there was little future for the ladies before returning when a women's championship was formed. Then came the acceptance of trans women being allowed to play in women's sports by the WDF, PDC, county darts and independent events. I have thought this is wrong since day one. I have no problems with transgenders in life. I'm not close to Noa-Lynn in darts, but in fairness seems a lovely person. So she has been there from the very beginning before there was even a women's championship of any kind. She fought for that, for them to have their own competition to begin with. So she's seen how far this has set women's darts back, and she was not on board with it whatsoever. We've even had female darts players from other countries walk away completely and quit in protest about having to compete against male athletes. Women at the top of their game, self-excluding over this issue. So it's great to see that they have now made a decision to ban male athletes completely from the women's category, and they've introduced an open category. Now, I don't see the need for an open category. I believe there's co-ed divisions. Don't know why they just don't compete there or compete against the men, but whatever. And Noa-Lynn, a male darts player who identifies as a woman, has spoken out in response to World Darts banning male athletes from the women's category. The decision follows an update in the organisation's eligibility rules. A general meeting in September last year saw a remit proposed urging the organisation to restrict participation in women's tournaments to people who were born female only. The new rule means trans women, including 28-year-old Dutch van Leuven, can only compete in the open category under the organisation. This category includes players of all genders. Van Leuven wrote on Instagram this past Monday, "This decision does not affect me personally though, thankfully, not too severely at this point in time, but still it hurts. Once again, it's a loss for the trans community in sports. And that breaks my heart. As a trans person in the darts world, I know how vital inclusion is, not just on paper, but in practice. It's disheartening to see yet another policy framed around fairness that ultimately results in exclusion, without truly considering the people behind the labels. My heart goes out to all the athletes impacted by this. We remain visible. We keep going." Noa has spent years competing in the women's category, taking accolades and prize money that rightfully belongs to female dart players. So I've already got what I want out of it through the years, so it doesn't really affect me. And that's what I got from what Noa-Lynn said there. Accordingly, WDF tournaments, cups and rankings tables will be renamed and redefined as open women, open youth and girls tournaments and cups. We understand these changes may be challenging for people who want to compete in darts in the gender which they are now registered as. The WDF has directly contacted its member countries so as they can discuss these changes with affected players directly. So this person is still going to be able to play under the PDC. Van Leuven is currently ranked 4th in the PDC's Women Order of Merit. On paper, Van Leuven is considered the first Dutch woman to qualify for the World Darts Championship. This is what happens when you allow males to claim that they're women and take milestones and accolades away from real women. So the first Dutch woman to qualify for the World Championships is a man. Van Leuven was eliminated in the first round by Kevin Doets. So the PDC World Darts Championships is co-ed. While traditionally a male-dominated sport, the PDC Championship is open to all players, including women. The tournament includes a minimum of 4 women, and the field has been expanded to 128 players. According to the BBC Sky Sports report, the PDC has also introduced a new qualifying structure to ensure more women participate. And thankfully now, it will actually involve women qualifying and participating and breaking those milestones. So co-ed competitions we know exist in darts, but when it's a women's category, it has to be for females only. That is what female dart players fought for. And to ignore the fact that they don't consent to competing against men is just absolutely egregious. And there are women who have been excluded as a result of allowing male athletes to compete in the women's category. But nobody seems to care about that for the longest time, and they were even threatened with disciplinary action for daring to refuse to play against male athletes. Van Leuven even played in the women's category just last month in the Women's World Match Play of Darts in Blackpool. Before 2024's Ally Pally tournament, the darts player claimed to have received horrendous death threats, leading to a decline in mental health. World Championship Michael van Garen sent his support to the fellow darts player, writing, "It's just heartbreaking. She does what she does and she can play terrific darts. Let her play nice. For me, there's never been a discussion, but I don't make the rules. The PDC has people who go over them. They can never make the right choice anyway. If they go left, people say they should go right and vice versa. Everyone has an opinion about it, but there's no point at all in continuing to argue. It's very simple. Women's categories in sports need to be for female athletes only. If we can stick to that, I think we'll be okay. The UK Supreme Court ruling has established under the law that biology is what counts when it comes to determining who's a woman. You have to be female. So these sporting bodies, they have to follow suit if they don't want to get sued. They can't be allowing male athletes to take prize money away from females. They can't be allowing male athletes to disenfranchise female athletes. Enough is enough of this. The inclusion of women in their own sports matters more than including men in a category they do not belong in. So this is great news. The PDC, I guess it's a co-ed competition anyway, so maybe that's why. But they still need to acknowledge somebody's biological sex when it comes to this, because we can't have a man taking records and accolades away from female athletes. The first Dutch this, or the first this, the first that. If it's going to be the first woman, it has to be a female. Otherwise, we're going to look back at this time and not even know what to believe. So if we can stick to biological sex, that would be great. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. Take care of yourselves, and God willing, I will see you in the next video.